Oh, welcome back. Now, maybe everyone remembers these things that I showed them before, and these bad boys, little entrapped webbed victims. And the reason those were made was for this guy. Now I'm just going to share with you the ideas I had in making this and rough how-to. Skeletons and eggs and everything. It's beautiful. Now, the first part in making this is making its base. The base really is the entire model. Maybe not for every model, you know, but for this particular model, the base is everything. And I still have a few of them left. I haven't put spiders on. Literally a few. So 3. A trifecta of danger. It's just some eggs, skeletons, and flock texture paste. All on, at the bottom, as cardstock. You can tell by the way it sounds. It's pretty damn brutal. The eggs, because I can't help but play around and experiment, the eggs are actually homemade texture paste that was converted into air dry clay. All you really need is just some air dry clay. You make some egg forms of whatever size, varying sizes if you please. Make some egg forms, you let them dry. Initially I made these with the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules in mind, and they're large bases. Large bases are approximately 40 millimeters or 4 squares, 2 inches in its largest dimension, 2-inch diameter. And roughly this will fit that diameter, even though it's not perfectly round. It doesn't need to be perfectly round. And what I did was I mixed up some texture paste with a little bit of sand and baking soda so I can get some granulations, and I painted the area and I cut out the cardstock. Now before the texture paste was 100% dry, I applied some skeletons, as you can see here. Now the skeletons were initially a Halloween button. They didn't have that many buttons, and when I went back, they were all gone. This is the actual Halloween button. I shaved off the loop in the button, and I made a temporary mold using Oyamaru, or Instamold. I used some green stuff, and I made a ton of skeleton bits and bobs and pieces, like this. You place those skeletons on the area that you've put your texture paste. And you can move some of the texture paste on it, let skeletons look partially buried. Then you take your hardened and dried eggs and glue your eggs onto your base with the skeletons. After that's all dried and painted up, you put your coffee flock or any other flocking material you choose. I use my coffee flock because I made it, I had it, it's great to use. What I did in the end, once everything was dry, was I painted over it all with some PVA to seal everything in and to increase the strength even further. I mean, right in the middle, the weakest part, ain't a damn thing happening to it. It's solid. Then after doing that, that's all the work right here. That's all the work. Because a spider is just a 99-cent toy. It's not even a Halloween thing. You get this in a dollar store, and I just picked out a spider with the paint job that I liked and put it on. What I did was I took a hand drill, drilled a hole in the spider, and drilled a hole in the base. Took a piece of skewer, one of my offcuts, snipped it to a length, short length, and used some craft goop to glue the skewer in both holes that I made so that I could position the spider in a raised up form rather than it sitting flat. That way it looks a little bit more animated without having to do any real work to it. And I come up with this bad boy. And that's it. You know, what do I have to break this? I don't have anything to break this.